panel, MSNBC contributor Perry Bacon, also political editor for The Griot, Democratic strategist Margie Omero, and Republican strategist Chip Saltzman. Gang, it's great to have you here, and I want to start with what Representative Steve LaTourette had to say earlier today as he was being interviewed on CNN and pretty much laying blame on both sides. Take a listen.
This isn't a one-party or a one-house problem. This is leaders of both parties and all branches of the government are not willing to make the deal that they know they have to make. Nobody's willing to pull the trigger. Everybody wants to play the blame game. Yep. Well, this blame game is about to put us over the edge.
All right, so this is about to put us over the edge. Perry, I want to start with you, because if perception is reality and the blame is going to matter to somebody, which side is it really going to matter to?
The blame matters on both sides. When you're president of the United States, you kind of own everything that happens. At the same time, what's driven this whole process is Republicans are very opposed to tax increases. There are just some Republicans who will not vote for any tax increase that we learned last week from the Plan B vote. That's what Mike was saying just a bit ago, was once we go over the cliff, Republicans are voting for a tax cut, not a tax increase, and then we're in a different stage of this, because right now that's what the big challenge is, Republicans and tax cuts and Grover Norquist and so on.
Chip, is that the biggest strategy here? Get to the third and pass the third. The new Congress comes in, then they actually vote for a tax cut. Boehner danger doesn't really exist anymore. His speakership stays in place, and Grover Norquist gives a thumbs up to everybody.
You know, I don't think that was the strategy a week ago. I think the speaker was really trying to put a deal together. But I think as we've seen the Senate not do anything, and it looks like that they're more interested in name calling than getting anything done, I think that may become the strategy. I've always thought they'd wait till the last hour, put a Band-Aid on it, temporary extensions till the end of February when they had to deal with the debt ceiling, but wait until the third so they can vote for a tax cut makes a lot of sense as well.
Margie, are the people on the left that are going to be looking at this? Because as we call it the fiscal cliff, it's basically a clean slate when we go over it for a lot of reasons. But does the left look at this as a way for the president to stand firm in the fact that in one federal voice, he was reelected on taxes going up? So is this going to be palatable to the left that the president is standing firm?
Absolutely. And you've seen in the polls already Obama's numbers have increased since the election, and also increased in how people view his handling of the fiscal cliff. While Republicans, attitude toward Republicans, consistently bad, and their blame and disapproval is only growing for them. And it's costing them in the polls and at the polls. And this obstructionist view that they take, this crisis of leadership, this consistent blocking of everything Obama's tried to do. And now they're talking about, it's really over a tax increase on the very wealthiest of Americans during a time of rising inequality. And for what? It's really to stop primary challenges. I mean, that's what this is all about, to stop primary challenges on their right flank. I mean, it's really bringing the country to a standstill for their own political short-term gain.
You talk about primary challenges. So the New York Times is out talking about the urgency issue in all of this, and lacking urgency that we've witnessed as we count down the clock. They say, yet with days left before the fiscal punch lands, both sides are exhibiting little sense of urgency, and new public statements Wednesday appear to be designed more to ensure the other side is blamed rather than to foster progress toward a deal. Perry, is that the biggest thing, the primaries moving out of this and how everybody looks back, hindsight being 20/20?
I think there are two things going on here. The first one is Democrats genuinely feel they won the election on a mandate to increase taxes on the wealthy. So they're not backing down on pushing that one issue. The second thing is the primary issue. You had some members of Congress actually say last week there was a proposal to raise taxes for people who make only over $1 million. And a lot of Republicans said, I can't vote for that. $1 million only tax increase. They could not vote for that because they were worried about a primary. This primary process is driving this in a very strong way, as she just said.
Meanwhile, as we talk about the urgency issue or the lack thereof, there are people in Washington, D.C. That'll tell us that this is how it all happens. We wait for the last second. And Congressman Tom Cole appeared with Luke Russert on the Daily Rundown, and I just want to play what he had to say in response to the urgency issue.
He had the complete support of everybody for Plan B, and he has the support in terms of speakership from most of the members that were opposed. So this is a tactical debate and discussion. It's not a debate over John Boehner's leadership. I think he's going to be the speaker, honestly, not for 2 years, but for 4.
All right, so that's about Speaker Boehner. Guys, can we play the other one that talks about how the deals come together at the last moment? Let's cue that one up.
Last moment, that's what happened in the budget deal, the debt ceiling deal. I think that's what's going to happen again.
Why are you cautiously optimistic when it seems that everyone else is saying that we're going to go over the cliff?
Well, to paraphrase Ronald Reagan, there's so much manure around here, there's got to be a pony someplace.
It was such a good interview. I want to play all the sound bites for you. But, Chip, let me start with you. When we know that, where are they going to find that pony? Whose office is it going to be in? And how are they going to drag it out?
Well, it's going to be interesting. Look, it always is darkest before the dawn. It seems pretty dark right now, so maybe there is a dawn before we can get this deal. Look, I think a lot's going to be looked at with McConnell's speech on the floor of the Senate today. If he starts, if he kind of follows Senator Reid's and starts name calling and starts the blame game, it's going to be pretty bleak. If he starts talking about solutions and this is important for the country, there may be a deal in the works.
All right, but Margie, we know that's going to happen. The blame game will continue. I mean, the lights flipped on and Harry Reid took to the floor with some strong words. We know Mitch McConnell's going to do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, Mitch McConnell said, don't forget, Mitch McConnell was the one who said, our #1 goal in the Senate is to defeat President Obama. I mean, and they fail because the American people say, we want people to come together. They say in poll after poll, they said in November very clearly, we want politicians to work together. They use the same phrase you just did about urgency. I hear that in focus groups. Does anyone in Washington feel the same sense of urgency that I do? And this is proving that at least when it comes to congressional Republicans, the answer is no.
I still say we need to make T-shirts. The fiscal cliff, I'm over. Margie Omero, Perry Bacon, Chip Saltzman. Great to see all three of you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. And I'll buy one.